Guys, so actually I took a new lesson in the live class, right? Because I required a little bit more time for doing the numericals from the motion and plane, and I know that while we are taking the live class we are not able to cover the most of the numerical sections, right? So that's why we are going with the motion and plane last video and the last section, which we are entirely we are going to use for solving questions, numerical questions. Okay, now I intend to do I think I lost the question. Okay, this one, right? Because the initial part, dot product, etc., we have done a little bit, right? Now we'll start with the addition of vectors, remember. So again I'm going to take my blue color, right? Because I'm not comfortable with black color. And the first question I remember of taking it, that if a plus b is equal to a minus b vector, right? So what is the angle between a and b? I have done it, right? So I'm not going to repeat it. So the next question we are going to do is 18th one, right? 18th question, which you can see. A vector a has magnitude of 10 units and makes an angle 30 degree with the positive axis. This is positive axis. Let's say this becomes negative x-axis, right? Now vector a of 10 units, right? 10 units is making angle 30 degree with x-axis, right? And vector b has magnitude 20 units, larger, right? 20 units makes angle what? 30 degree with negative axis. I read the question before, that's why I drew. You guys have to wait and find the values. Okay, this much clear? And you are asked what is the magnitude of resultant between these two vectors. This is a and this is b, and the magnitude is given. What is missing is angle between the two vectors, that is theta. Remember, what is a plus b? It is, or resultant, right, of these two vectors is equal to root of a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cos theta, but theta is the angle between a and b. And as we can see in the figure, we are not provided with it, but we know this angle is 30, this angle is 60, so this angle is 180 minus 60, right? So this angle will be what? 120 degree. Clear? Now we just have to substitute what is a value, root of what is a value. It is how much was given? I forgot. 10, right? So 10 squared plus 20 squared plus 2ab cos 120 degree. Please do the calculation by yourself, guys. You will get the answer as 10 root 3 units. Why did I write it as units? Because you are not given the proper units for a and b. If it had been given Newton, that is force, etc., then I would have written as 10 root 3 Newton. Clear? Now let's move on with the next question, guys. Which one? 20 motorcyclist wind, etc. I have taken. I'm not going to take it again. So 21st question, let's say you are asked what is the relationship between a or given what is the magnitude of a minus b vector, right? And something has been given. Please read the question, right? So let's start with ouch. A vector plus b vector, which you are supposed to know the equation of, right? And this value is given as a vector, right? Keep that in mind. Okay, so a vector plus b vector is a squared. I just wrote it as a squared plus b squared 2ab cos theta. We just wrote it now, right? Now it is said that in the question a plus b magnitude is also equal to a magnitude vector given, right? So I can write this as a squared and b squared plus 2ab. I'm not writing it entirely, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to square these two guys so that it becomes a squared is equal to a squared plus b squared plus 2ab cos theta, right? Very simple. Let's change. Okay, now here what and all can be considered now, right? I can move this a squared section right? Before that it is said that a vector is equal to b vector. So here b squared, I can be writing it as a squared plus a squared plus 2a squared cos theta, and here there is another a squared, right? So one a squared can go over that side and can cancel out, so that a squared is equal to minus 2a squared cos theta. Now this a squared cancels out, right? So I will get cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2, right? Clear? And what is cos inverse minus 1 by 2? It is 120 degree. Clear? Now that is not the question. Your question is, what is a vector minus b vector? How can I find? It is root of a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. You just substitute for cos theta. You can write cos theta is directly 1 by 2. Okay, clear? So cos 20 degree, I hope you know it is minus 1 by 2. Okay, so you will get the value, substitute b as a itself because all the options are in a. So it will be equal to root 3 magnitude a. Clear? Right? If it had been C, if the option had been in magnitude or in all the answers were in modulus B form, then you would have in this section, that is in this section, place of replacing B with A, you are supposed to replace A with B. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now which question we should do? Let's do the 22nd question, guys. This one. Okay. Oh, we have to read now. Sorry. Two forces are in the ratio 1:2 acting simultaneously on a particle. The resultant of these forces is 3 times the first force. The angle between them is. Right. It's simple. Actually, it is very simple. But first we will do simple question, then we'll move on to the complicated ones. Okay. So you are given, there are two forces like this. Let's say this one is F1 and this one is F2. I'm not writing a vector, it is known, right? And they are forming a resultant vector, right? And sorry, messages are coming. And theta is the angle between these two vectors, right? Now we know what is the resultant for this one. It is root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta, right? And in the question it is given that F1 by F2 is equal to 1 by 2, right? So I can write F2 as what? 2F1, and I can substitute this value over here, right? Right. So what will I get? Root of F1 square plus 2F1, right, whole square plus 2F1 and 2F1 cos theta, right? Clear? So is equal to root F1 square plus 4F1 square plus 4F1 square cos theta, right? So it's equal to root of 5F1 square plus 4F1 square cos theta. Now keep it there like this itself. Now you are given resultant is 3 times 1 force. So resultant I am going to write it as 3F1. So it becomes 9F1 square. I am going to square these two guys. It becomes 5F1 square plus 4F1 square cos theta. Now let's bring 5 over here. It becomes 4F1 squared is equal to 4F1 square cos theta, or I will get cos theta is equal to what? 1. That is theta is equal to 0 degree. Right? So I might be taking it very fast, guys. Keep your pause the video, try to do it by yourself, then it is very easy. Right? Now let's move on to because this fourth section etc is very easy. I don't think you guys will be feeling much difficulty in this case, right? And the board etc question we have done, right? So let's, I think this page questions are mostly very easy for you guys. If you want, I can do the 24th question. I think this is the first. I can just verbally tell you. See, they are given two vectors, right? P, let's say this 2i plus 3j is p vector, and q vector is given as 2j plus 3k vector, right? What will be there in vector forms? You are asked resultant, means their sum will be what? 2 plus, right? 2i has to be added with the I component. There is no I component, right? So I will just write 2i, right? And there is a 3j and there is a 2j, so it becomes 2i plus 5j. Then there is a 3k. So what will be the equation for it? I will just write here, will be 2i plus 5j plus 3k, all k vectors. You just have to add them, right? The components of sum of two vectors means when these two add, you have to get the actual vector, right? So you will get the actual vector as what? R 2i plus 3j plus 3k. So out of this, what is the x component? That is the I component, that is 2. And what is the y component? You are asked y now. So that is 5. Clear? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you are getting that question. Ouch. Where did the figure go? With this one, huh? No. Okay. To remove the lock. $25 etc. is easy if you understand that. 26. We'll do 26. Two vectors A and B have equal magnitudes. Remember the things which are given here. Now the points which are given has to be kept, right? If the magnitude of A plus B is equal to n times the magnitude of A minus, oh, this is simple. Initially I have taught that, remember, A plus B vector is equal to A minus B. Now there is a small number along with it. That's the difference. It's simple. I'm not going to do it. You guys can do it by yourself. If you are not able to do it, you guys can ping me. I will tell you. But usually it is very easy, yeah. Okay. Now this type of question, I believe you guys can do it easily. Which one have to do? I see the board crosses a river with one. In place of simmer, we are just writing board. That's the only difference. Now let's move on to the motion in plane section. 32. Let's do that one. Here what is given? Position vector of a particle r has function. Particle r as a function of time is given by, you are given r vector, okay, and please read it, where r is in meters, t is in seconds, whatever, I and j denote the x and y direction unit vectors. Which one of the following statement is wrong for the particle of motion? Wow. Okay, I'll tell you. So you are asked what is the magnitude. See the option, magnitude of velocity of particle is 8 meter per second. You have to see whether that is true for the position vector which is given here. So I'm not going to write the entire position vector because it is very difficult. Alright, so velocity is what? Differentiation of position or displacement, right? So d by dt, right? This bracket is this one. I'm supposed to write this entire thing here, right? Clear. Now what will be the differentiation of this term? You guys can actually do it in fraction of second itself. How? See, 4 sine, that 4 is constant, right? Then there is sine, right? What is the differentiation of sine? It is cos, right? Cos 2 pi t. Now it's not over. You have to differentiate 2 pi t also. So there is a 2 pi here along with it. So this is the first term differentiation. Clear? So I'm just writing the first term, guys. So you will get 8 pi cos 2 pi t for the first term. This one, only this one. Clear? I cap. Right? Similarly, let's look for the 4 cos 2 pi t. So that also will be what? 4, right? Sine, right? Minus sine, because differentiation of cos is minus sine. So the entire thing becomes 4 minus, right? The same term. First you differentiate the 4 section, this constant outside. Differentiation of cos is minus. I put it minus, so write it as sine 2 pi t. Then I have to differentiate the thing in the bracket, which is 2 pi t. That's differentiation is 2 pi, right? So it will be, when I write the entire thing here, minus 8 pi sine 2 pi t j cap. That is the equation for velocity. Now you are told that the magnitude of velocity is 8. Let's see. How would you say this is the velocity vector, right? How would you do find the magnitude of velocity? Root of this one square plus this one square. So 8 pi cos 2 pi t square plus 8 pi sine 2 pi t square. Now both of these guys are having 8 pi square constant. I am bringing it outside. Then it is cos square 2 pi t plus sine square 2 pi t, which is 1. So you will get velocity's equation as 8 pi, not 8. Right? Clear? So first, that is 8 pi meter per second. The first option is wrong because it is given that the magnitude of velocity of the particle is 8 meters second. Clear? Right. So you are asked which is wrong. So actually you got the first option itself. That is, the first option is wrong. So whenever this type of questions are coming, always check the first option itself is wrong. Means don't try to check whether the other things are right or not. Clear? Now, ouch. Which one? 34. I'm just looking, guys. We'll do it depending upon what the severity of the question. 35th question. We'll do the 35th question. A particle moves along x-axis with the uniform. The figure is given, right? The x-axis in 10 meter per second. Right. A particle B is moving with uniform velocity 20 meter per second along the direction. So with 60 degree with the positive x-axis. Now you are asked the relative velocity of B with respect to that of A. Clear? Sorry. That means you have to write them in components. Right? So, ouch. Here. And I hope you have written the question. Ouch. Sorry. Right? This was a figure. Let's say this particle VA. Right? That is 10 meter per second. Right? Now VB. Velocity B. That is 20 meter per second. Right? Now, let's say VA is in x direction, that means it is 10I. I will remove this meter per second. I will just write it as 10I cap. Right? Clear? Now VB, right? VB has actually two components. Right? How would I write it as? This is 20, right? Cos, this is 60 degree, 60 degree. So 20, so this is not cos, then it becomes sine. Sorry. Because this becomes a vertical component. This becomes sine 60. Ouch. Sine 60. This becomes 20 cos 60. Right. But here the entire thing is in I or J form writing. Right. So in place of, see, I'm making you understand the entire thing. So in place of sine, ouch. In place of sine, what I'm going to write is 20 sine. So why I'm getting selected a lot of things, my hand is touching. Sine 60, and it is in which direction? J direction. Clear? Now here with cos 60 I will write it as I direction. Clear? So how can I write VB actually? VA we can write it as 10I cap, and VB will be written as combination of cos and sine, that is 20 cos 60 I cap in this direction plus 20 sine 60 j cap. Clear? Right. Now cos 60 etc. should be known to you guys. Right. So you will get 10 because 1 by 2 I cap plus 20 sine 60 root 3 by 2. So it is 10 root 3 j cap. Sorry guys. Right. So that means you got a vector form. This is VB and you have VA. So you are asked what is the relative velocity of B with respect to A. That is VB minus VA. Just subtract it guys. Right. You will get what? 10 root 3j because 10I and 10I are common. So you will get this as the answer. Meter per second. Clear? Right. Sorry. Now let's do the 37th question, guys. A particle is moving on a circular path of 10-meter radius. Right, at any instant of time, its speed is 5 meter per second. 5 meter per second, which is given, is linear velocity. Okay, and that is instantaneous velocity is given. That means it is a linear velocity, and that speed is increasing at a rate of 2 meter per second. Means you are given at the acceleration, and this means for acceleration for that linear motion, right? So that is linear motion means that acceleration is usually called what? Tangential acceleration, right? Acceleration due to what? Linear velocity, that is known as tangential acceleration. It is suffixed as at, right? Now magnitude of net acceleration is asked, so that means there is an additional acceleration, right? Remember, when a body is in a circular motion, there is an acceleration towards the center, which is usually called centripetal acceleration, and there is another name which can be given, which is called radial acceleration. Remember, okay? Right, so when this is the circle, right, so this is the instantaneous velocity direction, right? The same direction the what our tangential acceleration has. This is due to what? Linear velocity. Now we have found that this is the centripetal acceleration, which I told you can even write it as radial acceleration, so you can write it as AR also, right? So that means this, I'm going to take it as outside, guys. So this, ouch, this direction is AC, or let's say AR, right? AR, right? And this is AT direction. So you are asked the net acceleration, means you are asked the resultant of these two acceleration. Clear? This much theory is finished, right? So we are given V, R and AT. Now radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration is V squared by R. I have taken it, right? So it is 5 into 5 divided by 10. You will get it as 2.5 meter per second square. Now this is radial acceleration, and you are having tangential acceleration, and you have to find the resultant for total acceleration, which is equal to AR square plus AT square, and plus 280 AR cos 90. So cos 90 is 0, so this section can be removed. So this part only remains, right? Now just find the values, guys. You are given AR and AT's values, right? So this one, what is radial? You found it as 2.5 square, and what is AT? It is 2 square. So you'll get around 10.25. so you cannot find the root of it, so root 9, right? So this answer will be quite close to 3. So look for the option which is close to 3, right? So it is 3.2. That's how you are supposed to do an entrance question. Obviously you are not going to get the correct value, right? Let's move on to the next question, guys. A particle is moving uniformly in a circular path of radius r when it moves through an angular displacement theta, when the magnitude of the corresponding linear displacement, right? You are given an angular displacement is given, and that circular motion's radius is given. You are asked what is the linear displacement. That means you require what is known as a figure. Now it's a circle. Oh wow, I remember we could have used a good circle, na? This one, yeah, this one. I forgot about it. I'm very happy when the structures which I draw are very good, even if it is not me. Now this theta is the angular displacement. Now this is the radius which is given. You are asked, ouch, this one. This is, let's say this is O. You are asked this is D. Let's say this is the circular motion undergoing, right? Now for this you have to know cosine formula, which now I hope you remember the cosine formula. I told you when doing the vector addition that it is the equation which is formed for the resultant of the two vectors is quite similar to cosine formula. So this is actually cosine formula. I'm going to take it actually. So you will see there is some difference in plus and minus. So that's why the vectorial addition equation is not actually fully called as cosine formula. It is quite similar to cosine formula. So I'm breaking a triangle for making you guys understand. Let's say this is theta. Let's say this is A. This is B, and this is C, right? Now cos theta, that is a formula. Cos theta is equal to A squared plus b squared minus c squared divided by 2ab. See, so when you bring 2ab in this direction, it becomes quite similar, right? See, that means c squared will be equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos theta, right? That means it's just like a difference of two vectors, right? That's why I told you initially that our resultant equation is quite similar to cosine formula. Now using this cosine formula, cosine formula is not detailedly taken in your syllabus, but I'm just telling you. For in this figure also I can apply the cosine formula, right? So what becomes cos theta? In place of a and b, that is r and r, right? So it is r square plus r square minus d square divided by 2r square. Just substitute it, guys. So it becomes, I can write d squared is equal to 2r squared minus this r squared plus r squared is 2r squared, right? That's why this comes. Then there is 2r squared cos theta, right? Now, what is 2r squared? Common if I take, it becomes 1 minus cos theta. And that is something you have to know in your what? Trigonometry. Cos theta. If you don't know, I can write it here. There is a formula for cos theta. Cos theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared theta by 2. Right? So that value you have to substitute here. So 1 minus this 1 goes off and minus goes off. So you will get 2r squared, right? 2 sine squared theta by 2. Just substitute this cos theta here. Right? This is a new formula. That's why I took. Clear? Now, so you will get, this is d square now. So what will be d? Right? This 2 comes out. So becomes 4r squared. So I can write it as 2r itself. Sine square theta becomes sine theta by 2. So this is the linear displacement of the particle. Or you can just by heart this equation. If a direct question is asked, what is the linear displacement? If this and our radius is given and the angle between our angular displacement is given, you can just substitute this formula. Clear? I just wanted to depict it, how it has been obtained. Clear? Sorry. Now let's move on to the question paper again. This and already easy. Displacement. 50th question. You just have to find out, you are given relative, this is easy. Just like the previous one, you are given the relative position and you are asked what is correct in of this. So you just have to, once you differentiate it once, you will get velocity, twice it will be acceleration. You just have to check it. So let's move on to the next problem section. Hey, look. I don't know why when I downloaded this one, each page is locked, which I have to remove again and again, and it's very tedious problem. Okay. Okay, again. 54 etc. is easy. You're given u velocity is given acceleration. Application of just equation. See, I'm just checking whether the question is easy or not, because if this is a common question, you guys can do it by yourself, then it is a waste of time when I do it, right? Okay, let's do the relative velocity in 2 dimensions. With the 50th question, guys. Why I'm telling 58 is 57th question is something which you have learned in the motion 1 dimension. I told you a simple method for it also. See, we just told that a ball is dropped 100-meter high and another ball is simultaneously thrown with a velocity of 40 meter per second, right? So then when will it meet? See, then you have to write time is equal to distance. What is the relative distance between them? Time is equal to relative distance, right? Distance between these two guys by relative velocity. What is the relative distance between these guys? 100 meter. What is the relative velocity? One is 40 meter per second thrown up. That is plus 40 and the other one is 0, right? So their difference will be 40. So 10 by 40, the answer will be what? 2.5. Okay, just straight away. That is a better method. Don't go by the roundabout method. Okay, I just told you. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the 58th question. A ball is dropped from the top of 80-meter high tower if after 2 seconds of fall the gravity disappears, then the time taken to reach the ground since the gravity disappeared is, right? So let's do that one. Okay, say let's draw a figure, right? Right, because we have to find the position. Now let's say A, right? A represents the top of the tower, and say the C is the base, right? And a ball is dropped from the position A, right? So it is position dropping, let's say that height, right? And after 2 seconds of the fall the gravity disappears, right? So in the figure, let's say we mark this point as B where the gravity has disappeared, right? Clear? This much is clear, right? Now before writing this diagram we have to understand the figure. So I hope you understood what is the point B. Point B is where the gravity disappears. Now we have to mark some things in the graph, sorry, this below to the figure, but some of them has to be found, right? Now we have been told that a ball is dropped from A and after 2 seconds of the fall the gravity disappears. So how much distance the ball has covered during those 2 seconds, right? That has to be found, right? So h is equal to, it's a dropped second, right? So ut becomes 0, u is 0, then half gt square. Now displacement is negative, it is falling, g is negative, so these two cancels out, so you need not write plus minus here. So it becomes half, g is 10, and t square, how much? 2 square, right? So it becomes 20 meter, right? Clear? So the object has, you know what is the height of the tower? Sorry, it is 80 meter given, right? So during the 2 second interval the ball has traveled only 20 meter, means you are given this height which is 20 meter. So what will be this height? Obviously it will be 60 meters, right? This much clear? Now I have found that without gravity how much distance the ball has traveled, which is 60 meter, right? So if I want to find the time, I got the distance, I require what? Velocity, right? Now how can I find the velocity? Obviously, see, ouch, right, we have to find the velocity which the ball is attaining in the 2 seconds interval, because that 2 seconds intervals velocity will be followed, right? Because now the gravity is not there, right? See, the ball has, let's say, has attained 5 meter per second at this point B. Now there is no gravity, means the entire thing or the entire motion of the ball will be having the uniform velocity of 5 meter per second. There is nothing to see, that is what is Newton's law of motion. Nothing to attain or nothing to apply force, means an object will be moving in a uniform motion. So after B there is no gravity, means the velocity which has been attained during the 2 seconds interval will be maintained from point B to C. This much clear? Now V is equal to u plus gt, right? Now u is 0, right? Now velocity, it is minus g, that is 10, and what is time? 2. So velocity attained is minus 20. Clear? This much clear? Now how much is the time for this much travel from B to C? T is equal to displacement is minus 60 meter, right? It is falling down. Then with how much velocity? 20. So it is how much seconds it reaches? 3 seconds, right? So after gravity is lost, the ball will take 3 seconds to reach ground. That's a very good question, right? Clear? Right. Now let's move on to, sorry. Again, you are given two vectors. This is something which I can just say, you guys can do it. So you are given two position vectors, right? R1 and R2. Then obviously you can find its velocity by just differentiating. And what will be the relative velocity between these two guys? You just have to find the difference, right? Clear? Right. So, and you are asked what the relative velocity at the instant t is equal to 1 seconds, means find R1, V1 and find V2, find their difference and put t is equal to 1. You will get the answer. And you are asked magnitude, means you will get an equation I and j, right? So you have to just root off that I coefficient square plus j coefficient square. Clear? So take your time. You guys can actually solve it. It's not a big deal. River flowing, I'm not going to take it. I've done it a lot. Right? Now, 61. Right. Now, 61. Now we have started our next major topic, which is projectile motion. right? What is the question? See, it is given in 61st question. Read it. You are given a projectile is given initial velocity. So u is given. I'm not writing allowed to cap, because if I don't write, you will not be writing, right? And there is a Cartesian equation of path is asked, right? So I believe in your derivation, while I was deriving and you guys wrote, in between I told you there is, you get a final equation. I just told you we compare that equation with what? Parabola equation. I told you, yes, this equation is similar to the parabola equation, hence the projectile motion is having path as parabola, right? We require that equation, okay? Keep that in mind, guys. Don't forget it. This question or this equation is very important in case of our entrance examination. So you wrote y is equal to, or I would have written there, y is equal to x tan theta minus gx squared by 2u squared cos squared theta, right? And I told you this tan theta constant, this you can take it as constant, so it is just like a parabola equation. That's why I have told you, right? So you have an equation like this, right? So let's compare this equation. So this tan theta, what is tan theta, guys? Remember that also you can write like this. Tan theta is equal to what? Cos theta by, sorry, what happened to me? Sin theta by cos theta, right? Or I can just add u over here. Does it make any difference? No, right? So what is u sin theta and cos theta? Velocity, sine component, that is velocity is component in j direction, right? That is j direction is 2. Right. U cos theta is velocity's component in I direction or x direction, that is 1. Right. So you get tan theta is how much? 2. Clear? Now you can just substitute it here. Y is equal to x into 2 minus, it is g, right? X squared divided by 2 u squared cos theta. I can write it as u cos theta whole square. And what is u cos theta? 1 square, right? Right, and in place of g you can write even 10, because the answer is not having any constant section other than x, so it is 2x minus 5x squared. This is the equation for this projectile motion, or the path of this projectile motion. Okay, fine. We'll do the very good question, 74th. Read the question. From the top of a tower of height 10 meter, one fire is shot horizontally with a speed of 5√3 meter per second. Another fire is shot upwards at an angle 60 degree with the horizontal at the same interval of time with the same speed 5√3 meter per second. The shots collide in air at a certain point, the time interval between the two fires. I hope you don't understand anything. Right, pause the video, read the question and try to do it by yourself first. Then you will look at how I have done. Now, see, the thing is, this is a tower. Okay, let's say two balls are actually thrown. One is in this direction horizontally, the other is in this direction. Let's say in which angle? 60 degree. Both of them will be undergoing a parabolic path, right? This, let's say, is moving in this direction. This ball will be undergoing a direction like this, right? Let's say P is the point where they are going to collide. And 10 meters is the height of this tower, right? And 5√3 meter per second is the velocity for both these guys. This much is given. This is the first ball. This is the second ball, right? No, it's a fire shot, sorry. Let's say it's a ball or whatsoever. The theme is important, right? This is the x direction displacement. Sorry, this is y direction, right? Very important question. The theme is very, very important, right? Because this question can be twisted in the only numerical value section. Okay, now let's say about first shot first, right? And the first shot we are seeing both horizontal and vertical displacement are there till the point P, right? Now say this meter is high, so how much distance can this first ball can travel vertically? This much. Let's say this is h. So actually this h can be even written as what? From, let's say we are going to take this as origin. This is the foot of the tower. I am going to take origin, means this position of P for the first ball, I'm supposed to take from the ground, right? So this position is to be known. This is P minus H or 10 minus H, right? Sorry, I wrote it as P na. 10 minus H. If I will repeat it. See, this I'm going to just consider first ball, right? First ball was thrown, it followed a parabolic path. At P, it met with the second ball, right? And I'm going to take all the measurements from what? The foot of the tower, because this becomes the origin, say, right? So how we take the positions? We take the measurements from origin. Now that means origin is for the x line, right? So from x, this point is important. Clear? Right. So while we make the measurement or while we use the equations, remember what we are going to take. We are always taking the foot of the tower as the origin. And all the upward direction then becomes positive, and of course other things becomes negative. Right. Now first, this much is clear. I'm going to talk about the first ball. Oh sorry, shot. Let's say what will be its x displacement, x direction. This one. It will be its velocity, because velocity is in horizontal direction, right? So Vx, right, of the first ball is in x direction. So there is velocity only in the horizontal direction. So I will write it as 5 root 3 t1. Let's say t1 is the time period, right? Or the shot is traveled, or for the first shot, horizontal and vertical distances traveled by the shot is t1 time. That is, the shot has traveled for only t1 time. This much clear? Now, you have vertical displacement also for the first ball, right? Right. So how would you calculate for the vertical displacement? It is again easy. See, I just told you it will be 10 minus h. So I have to write 10 minus. And how can I find the h? H is, see, ut for velocity, right? So it is uyt minus half g. That is for vertical also same, right? T square. Now uy, vertical direction, there is velocity? No, there is no zero. So it becomes what? Minus half gt square. Alright? Clear? And the displacement is also minus, right? So h becomes what? Half gt square. So 10 minus h, I will write here as half g t1 square, because it is traveling for t1 period only. Clear? Let's remove this one. Right. Clear? I got x1, x4, x2. Now, let's take about second ball. Second ball is having a 5 root 3 in this direction. So it has 60 degree, means it has two vertical as well as horizontal component. So x2, I am supposed to write it as what? 5 root 3 cos, right? This is horizontal. That is cos 60 into, let's say it is traveling for time t2, right? So it will be 5 root 3 into 1 by 2. So it becomes, right, 5 root 3 by 2 t2. That is the x2, horizontal displacement of the second shot. So what will be its vertical displacement? Same. See, again, let's say this is traveling this much height, right? This h can be calculated, right? So always I told you its measurement is taken from the origin. So how much is the vertical displacement of the second ball? It is h plus 10, right? So y2, I will write it as 10 plus. Now how will I write for h? It is 5 root 3 sine 60 ut, right? uyt. This is uy for the second ball. 5 root 3 sine 60t plus, oh, it is minus, right? It is falling, right? Minus half gt2 square. This is also t2. That is for the second ball. This much clear? Now solving this one, y2, I can separately write it as what? 10 plus 15 by 2. There is sine 60, etc. You have to find, right? Minus half gt2 square. Now this is y2. Now when a collision is happening, that means x1 is equal to x2. Both of their positions become equal. Similarly, y1 will become equal to y2. Their positions become equal at that point, right? So I can equate x1 is 5 root 3 t1 is equal to 5 root 3 t2 by 2, right? So I'll get t2 is equal to 2 t1, right? Similarly, I can do the second y's equation, that is 10 minus half gt1 squared is equal to 10 plus 15 by 2 t2 minus half gt2 squared. Now from there again I can spread it as, you have to simplify it. You will get t2 squared minus t1 squared is equal to 3 by 2 t2. Now substitute this value over here. You have to solve this equation. Then you will get t1 as 1 second and t2 as 2 seconds. That is, the first shot has traveled 1 second and second shot has traveled for 2 seconds. This much clear? So you are asked what is the difference in time interval of the two shots, means you are asked what is t2 minus t1. That is 2 minus 1, that is 1 second is the difference between the positions, right? Difference between time intervals. Clear?